And well, we still do our strengthening and lengthening, but in yoga is more about the targets, mainly our connective tissue. So the connective tissue is the tissue that is in between our bones, between our ligaments, between our bones, and yeah, our muscles. Is the connective tissue is that tissue that holds our organs in place. So this in yoga is to strengthening that connective tissue. And it's really low impact, but obviously is a physical exercise. So be aware of your body, how you feel in these positions. Hold it as long as you can. We can hold it around 1 minute to 2 minutes each pose. So in yoga, I'm going to share with you all right, so you may have seen the yin-yang symbol. And the yang represents masculine, positive sunlight, heaven, active, fire, energetic, heat-driven, goal-oriented, vigor, intellect, and awake. And in opposition, the yin is the feminine, negative, moon, dark, earth, passive, water, calm, cold, free, acceptance, ease, intuition, and sleep. So it's the opposite. So this philosophy of yin-yang says that we have constantly these opposites. So like, for instance, when you breathe in, you expand. When you breathe out, you will contract. So there's always these opposites that are interconnected. So in a philosophical way, what I suggest and what yoga suggests is to accept that ups and downs, that dichotomy, so that opposites. So yin-yang is the ancient symbol of harmony. It reminds us that life is a balancing act and most fulfilling when we learn to embrace its dualities. The ups and downs, the good times and the bad times, the joys and the challenges. So if you have this attitude of embrace the ups and downs of life, you'll be able to be more settled with yourself, with your feelings. All right. What else? All right, so this is a funny picture as well. Here's the bad, the black. Here's the good. So like, for instance, after the night comes the day, after the good comes the bad. Here's the bad that is in the good, and here's the good that is in the bad. And the whole symbol makes here is life. So is the idea that we have both. So for instance, you wouldn't know what is being happy if you didn't know what was being said. So there's a flow of energy and state. So embrace that dichotomy, embrace that opposites, and remember that the opposites, they interconnect. All right, this was a bit of an intro to yin yoga. And now we're going to get started with it. Let me just adjust my camera. All right. That's it. Ay, ay, ay. Right, that's it. So I have a watch in front of me, so I can more or less say how long we hold the pose. So we have been doing active meditation, active yoga, and today is more about the resilience, how long enduring and hold a pose. So this is in yoga. You can use in yoga before bed because it relaxes you as well. We're going to just do a quick warm up with the sun salutations before we go to our more standing positions. So, right. So go to the top of your mat, ground yourself to the floor, make sure your feet are hip width apart, roll your shoulder blades back so you have a nice spine, tuck your tailbone, tilt your pelvic, and when you're ready, big inhale to the top, small back bend, exhale all the way to the floor, inhale halfway, fold and squeeze, exhale, hands to your mat, and big jump to the top, to the back of your mat. This is plank position. I just received the text, sorry. You can stay in the plank position. Huh? Panty horse. They're asking me about my tights. All right. No, they are Cleopatra. It's Egyptian. All right, so we were here in plank position. And we're going slowly into Chaturanga. So bend your elbows, go slow as possible. Once you reach the floor, before you reach the floor, do knees, chest, chin, and curl up into Cobra. If this stretch is too intense for you, just bend your elbows a little bit. If this is too easy for you, go to facing dog, upward facing dog. So upward facing dog is just your feet are pushing the floor and your hips are off the floor. All right, notice. Okay. Remember to breathe. Sometimes we forget to breathe. In yoga, you don't grasp for breath. You control it. All right. From here, we're going to tuck our toes at the back and we're going to lift our hips up into down dog. So breathe in and exhale. Push up. If your hamstrings are too tight, just give a shake. Just give a bit of a wiggle. So your feet are hip width apart. And you look to your belly button. And press down your shoulder blades. We're gonna stay 30 seconds in this position. So you don't have to have your feet all flat on the floor. And if your hamstrings are too tight, you can just bend your knees and be like that. The important thing is you having a straight line from your wrist to the top of your spine. With time, you're gonna come up into perfect downward dog. Just do slightly adjustments. Listen to your body. All right. So we're going to kick our right leg up in the air. and crunch, knee to nose, bring it all the way, the right leg, right foot, bring it all the way to the top of your mat. Breathe in and hold this pose. So in this pose, arms up, this is called warrior one. We're gonna stay here. Let me see if I can see the seconds. I'm very short-sighted. All right, so I'm going to be 30 seconds here, counting from now. Try to be as still as possible. Well, in the beginning, you're gonna fidget a bit just to check if you have everything aligned. So your knees are in line with your ankles. Try to not bring the knee too forward, more than ankle, otherwise you're gonna hurt your knee, okay? So nicely straight line, hips are facing forward. And your back foot, if you can't put it flat on the floor, is fine. You can just put pointing out. But feel the stretch here in your hamstrings. Feel this, the opening up of your hips. The body weight distributed along these 2 points. And remember to breathe. Nicely and slow. All right, so we did actually 1 minute in this position, more than 1 minute. 1 minute and a half, to be honest. And then on the other side, we're gonna do the same. So bring your hands to your mat. I'm gonna kick your right leg, the red that is in front, you're gonna kick it to the back into downward dog. All right. Stay in your downward dog again. Look at your belly button and breathe. Inhale, exhale slowly. Inhale and exhale. All right, we're gonna kick our left leg now. Kick it up in the air and crunch knee to nose and bring all your leg through your hands. So your left foot is nicely in between your hands. If you can't do this motion in one go, don't beat yourself up. Just adjust your position. Remember, we are all different. We all have different strengths and flexibilities. Plus, what we do one day, it doesn't mean that you do it another day. Like, for instance, if you drink less water one day, the next day you may not manage to stay in the posture longer. So embrace that difference, that days are different and you change every time. So big inhale at the top, warrior one. Gonna stay here for 1 minute and a half, like we did with the right one. So once you are here, just notice if everything is aligned. Hips forward. And slowly breathe. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Try to make the exhaling as long and slow as possible. And if you make the exhale longer than the inhale, you give your body an automatic relaxation and building that lung capacity. that lung capacity. So we talked about our respiratory hygiene. So if you focus in your breath, you clear all the pipes and you have better focus, better concentration, and this is what you achieve with yoga and with meditation. All right, here we go. Try to be as still as possible for the last seconds. And hands down to the floor. And we're going to do the same. So we're going to kick with our left leg into downward dog. Okay, from here, you're going to walk slowly your feet to your hands into full fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold and squeeze. So again, if it's too much on your hamstrings, just bend your knees slightly. The important thing is that you have this fold from your hips and not from your chest. So try to, so you can actually give yourself a hug. Place your arms behind your back and give yourself a squeeze. You release oxytocin, the happy hormone, when you do that. When you give yourself a hug, you release oxytocin. Or when you give a hug to somebody or kiss, or even petting a dog. Exercise by itself releases the good, happy hormones like serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine. Norepinephrine. Very long word. All right, so from here, bring yourself to the top and feel all your vertebrae being aligned. So go as slow as possible. Begin arms up, hands together, press your hands against each other and bring them down to your chest. Namaste. All right, so this was the sun salutation, was just to warm up. And now we're going to get into the in yoga poses with longer holds. So the first one that we're going to do is the chair pose. So chair pose is really good for your abdominals, lower back, and your legs. So it strengthens all of that. And if you stay in this pose longer, at least 1 minute, we're gonna try to do it at least 1 minute, you build the strength in that connective tissue. So the tissue that connects all your organs, connects muscle to muscle, muscle to bone, and lubricate all the joints and strengthen everything inside of you. So let's go for it. So stay in this tall position. I'm going to show you like more to the side so you can see. Lift your arms up, breathe in, and exhale, you come down and sit down into the invisible chair. So the time counts now, 1 minute to go. And breathe slowly. Find your balance. If it's too easy for you, you can go down. Obviously, this is harder. But when you have in this chair pose, just make sure your spine is stretched, your muscles are all engaged, and your knees don't pass too much your angles. I'm fidgeting too much because I'm talking and adjusting the position, but you over there, try as much as possible to stay in the position and to breathe as slow as possible. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, 5 seconds more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up and full fall. When you are in full fall, look at your belly button. So ideally your forehead goes to your knees and you look to your belly button. This is a very calming position as well. You can do this full fold standing up or on the floor sitting down. Okay, bring your arms to the top. And we're going to do chair pose one more time. Begin at the top and sit down, chair pose. We're gonna stay here one more minute. If you can't, just release the pose gently, okay? Don't go too abrupt. Yoga by itself is a very safe practice. It's a low impact exercise. That's why it's recommended for everybody, since baby until older. The oldest person practicing yoga at this moment, well, at least that is known, she is 109 years old and she practices yoga every day. So it's very inspiring. All right, 5 seconds more to make 1 minute. Hold it. 5, 4, actually past 1 minute. Anyway, 3, 2, 1. And full fold. Exhale. If you manage to breathe in positions as such, you will be able to manage to breathe slowly and in a controlled way when there's stressful situations outside. When you are in school, when you are talking with your friends, you create that neuroplasticity, you create this knowledge, and you'll be able to cope better with stress, cope better with anxiety, cope better with tough times in life. And again, like Yin Yang says, accept that those moments exist. So fully 100% happiness, it doesn't exist. It's the flow between one thing and another one. Remember that we are nature. We are more than 70% of water. So we flow, our energy flows like water. Our days flow as nature itself flows. All right, you can come down on the floor, give your legs a shake in case you need. You felt all your calves and all your hamstrings being stretched. We're going to do the Sphinx pose. So go flat on the floor, belly on the floor. Forearms on your yoga mat. Spread your fingers. Make sure you are aligned. Your feet at the back are nicely comfortable. Okay, so we're going to breathe in, go up, and stay in this cobra position. So from Sphinx to Cobra, 1 minute. If it's too hard on your lower back, just increase your stanzas or bend down your elbows. At any point, if it's too much for you, just go down into Sphinx. Practice makes perfection. You cannot do it wrong, you can only do it better. In yoga is like this. There's no many things that you can do wrong or go wrong. You can only go better, get better. Remember, what you practice, it grows stronger. Okay. We're gonna stay. You can just stay like that. You don't need to go to Cobra. And 1 minute has passed. All right, so go to child's pose to reset your spine. So arms in front of you, push down your shoulder blades and try to reach the floor. If you are tight in your hips and in your legs, you'll be up here, but with time, you will come down and this will be comfortable for you. We're going to have 3 inhales, 3 breaths in child's pose. So as long and slow as you can. Be aware of your breath, really listen to it, focus in it. Remember that yoga is active meditation. So by you focusing in your breath, being aware of the here and now, you are meditating, you are being mindfulness. Okay, walk your hands to the right. And in this position, again, try to breathe as slow as possible. 3 more breaths. Walk your hands to the left. And 3 more breaths. You can close your eyes and really feel your body. Remember that yoga is about body awareness, that awareness that you need so much while teenager. Love your body, love this powerful machine. Okay, if you finish your 3 breaths, walk your hands to the middle. We're going to come up into our knees, into all fours. What we're going to do is thread the needle. So it goes like this. The knees are hip width apart. The left arm goes in front of you, stretch it in front of you. And the right hand, the right arm is going to go and thread under your arm. And stay like this for at least 30 seconds. Let me look at the clock. And breathe in this position. It's a gentle stretch. Remember, we are not only building our strength and our flexibility, but we are strengthening all this connective tissue in between, so make our joints stronger. And by controlling the breathing, you are practicing your focus. 10 seconds more. All right, bring yourself into all fours again, and we're going to do it on the other side. So this time the right arm comes forward, and with your left, we're going to thread the needle. So bring it all the way through your under your arm, yeah, under your arm. Let me see the time, and 30 seconds. Continue. 1 minute. Breathe in, breathe out as slow as you can. Control your breath. 5 seconds more. All right. Bring yourself into all fours. If you need the child's pose, it's always there to help you out. So you can go to child's pose to reset your spine. All right. So now we're going to do the camel pose. So knees hip apart. You're going to tuck your toes at the back. And this, doing like this and going to the back is a bit hard. So just try the easiest way, which is place your hand on your heels, on the top of your heels. And the other one, thrust your hips and dangle your head. And breathe. Breathe in, breathe out through your mouth, through your nose, as slow as you can. To come out of this position, if you need, just go down and sitting on your sit bones. Don't try to come out from here. You may hurt yourself. The chances are low, but still you have to be careful. Okay, we're going to do the bow pose. Go flat on the floor. If you can't do the full bow pose, you can just do half. So place your palm against your foot and push it up. Okay? One at a time, about 30 seconds to 1 minute. If you're ready to do the full bow pose, bend your 2 knees, grab your feet with your hands, reset your breathing, okay, don't grasp for breath, and when you're ready, you're gonna pull up. So you're going to press your feet against your hands, and we stay here 30 seconds. Again, if you are able to control your breath, your positions as such, you'll take this lesson outside the mat, the yoga mat. You're gonna take this building your resilience, your strength to outside the yoga studio or the yoga mat. If it's too much for you at some point, just go down into child's pose. The child's pose is always there for you to reset, to rest. All right. Bring yourself into child's pose and breathe 3 long breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, we're going to do a really cool pose now. It's called, going to do the plow pose and then the shoulder stand. Yesterday we did the headstand. Today we're going to do the shoulder stand. Okay, plow pose is really good to clear up your sinus. If you are ever blocked up, do this pose. If you don't have much flexibility, use a sofa or a chair. So I'm going to bring my yoga mat over here. I don't know if you can see it, but just for you to have something to hold your legs when you bend. This is inversion, so it's an asana, a pose, inversion. Inversions are really good for you because you build strength on your heart muscles, and you actually give as well a break to your heart, because you are against the gravity, against the normal flow of blood. So it goes more oxygen and more blood to your brain, and releases the circulation, releases the stress on your lower body. So it goes like this. I'm not going to use the sofa or the chair, but if you need, please do. So let me show you what I mean, and then you find out if you need a support or not. So go flat on the floor, and what you're going to do, well, actually before the plow pose, we're doing the bridge pose. So you're going to thrust your hips up in the air, so it goes like this. You can rock and roll a bit. So this is the plow pose. So you can do this as slow as you can. I like to do it in a swing, but you can do it slow by bringing your legs up, and then you can use your hands to make the bum go up. I like to do it in one go. So this is an inversion. So why do I say that you need a chair? Because if you are up here, that's enough. But ideally, you touch the ground with your toes. And you stay in this position, grab your spine, don't let it roll back. So support your spine like that. And we stay in this position for 1 minute. Breathe in, breathe out. And roll down. Bring your legs to the floor gently. And you can give a tummy massage, abdominal massage. So you can tap, 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 tap. There's a therapy called tapping therapy. So if you're ever stressed, you just tap in some important points, like here in your hand, on the side of your hand. You can tap your temples, tap your cheeks. In this case, you're gonna tap our abdominals so they relax. All right, so we did about 30 seconds of plow pose. Let's see if we can do a bit more. So bring yourself. So listen to your body, see how far you can go. There's a thin line between pain and pain. So just find that body awareness, find your edge. So the edge is that limit, that thin line between pain and uncomfortable. So listen to your body, see what is uncomfortable for you. If it's too pain, it's no good. So it's not like going to the gym, no pain, no gain. So in yoga, you don't have pain. You may have the discomfort because it's a physical exercise, but again, listen to that edge. Listen to your body. All right, so come down, flat on the floor. Lower your legs as slow as possible. And bring yourself to Shavasana. If you think that it was too much for your lower back, you can go down into your child's pose to reset your spine, to build in that strength on your lower back. Three breaths over here. All right, so now that we practiced the plow pose, we're going to try to aim for the shoulder stand. So as the name it says, you're gonna stand on your shoulders. So make sure you don't go against any furniture or anything. If you ever fall from one position, just roll. Curl up your body, just roll. Like a ninja, roll. All right, so let's try to do the shoulders then. Go flat on the floor. You can grab some balance and go up, or you can do it gently and support your spine. You can start from plow pose, and when you're ready, you bring your legs up. You can adjust your position by tucking your shoulders in. Make sure you are supporting your lower back with your hands and try to have a nice stretch, a nice pose. And we stay here for at least 30 seconds. Feel how amazing is your body. Okay, when you're ready, you can start to do the plow and roll down into the floor. You may need a tummy massage. All right, this was our shoulder stand. I hope we enjoyed it. I was not super in-line, but if you practice, we'll get better at it. If you want, you can have a go and try again. All right, so we're going to do one more pose, the bridge pose. Now we can do the bridge pose. Sorry, I didn't do it earlier. So go flat on the floor. Your feet come closer to your bum. Hands pushing down on the floor. And when you're ready, you're gonna thrust your hips up in the air. You can adjust your shoulders, tuck them under. Here you can do a mudra with your hands or place your hands under your lower back for support if you need. If you have a strong core, you don't need it. Just do this mudra with your hands, this position with your hands. And stay in this position for 30 seconds. Try to breathe in and breathe out as slow as possible. All right, 5 seconds more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down on the floor and turn around into child's pose. Reset your spine. Okay. We're going to do, and that's it. Go into cross-legged, and this was your in yoga. I tried as much as possible to introduce you to different types of yoga, to let you know that yoga is really complex and is really vast, and there's so many techniques, there's so many variations of yoga. It's up to you to try which one works for you. So what I recommend is to do 5 minutes in the morning, start really slow. Just try to create the habit for 3 weeks, for instance. Just do 5 to 10 minutes until you create an habit. To create an habit, you need to introduce it slowly and make it consistent. So if you do, like, for instance, 1.5 hours of yoga today, and then you do next month 1 more hour and a half, it's not so effective on your practice. So little but efficient, create a habit, and then it will grow on you. So even 1 pose per day. Like, for instance, yesterday I suggested to do the spine twist. So when you wake up, just bring your knees to one side and look the opposite side. So if you start to do stretches and poses like so in the morning or at night before you go to bed, you will see that your energy flow will be better and you will be calmer and more ready for either to sleep or to get into your normal routine. All right, so we're going to do a very, so instead of doing a meditation, we're going to do an easy mindfulness awareness. So I'm advocate of practicing meditation, but if it's too hard for you, you can just introduce more mindful moments throughout your day. So imagine that you are waiting in the waiting room for the dentist, or you are in the bus, or you are in the morning waiting for something. You can have a mindful moment. And it's called the 5 senses mindfulness. So we have 5 senses, and we're going to focus in 5 things so we're going to focus in 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can feel, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. So again, mindfulness is about bringing yourself to the present moment. Because if we are dwelling about things in the past, we get this unsettling feeling. If you are too projecting into the future and having these feelings of fear and doubt, you create these feelings of anxiety. So if you bring yourself to the present moment, to the here and now, you develop more focus, more concentration, more a state of calmness and peace. And you know how important it is to have focus, not only in school, but in everything that you do throughout the day. So focusing on one task, and you'll make it more efficient and faster and efficient. If your brain is scattered all over the place, if you are listening to the chit chat in your mind, you don't get the things done so efficiently. You don't gain so much learning process, or the thoughts process. So that's why it's important for you to practice meditation or mindfulness like this one. So 5 things you can see. I can see the laptop, I can see the TV, I can see fruit, I can see flowers, I can see the floor. 4 things that you can feel. I can feel my seat bones on the yoga mat. I can feel the hot air. I can feel my hands on my thighs, on my leggings. I can feel my hair, my ponytail. Now, 3 things that you can hear. I can hear the music. I can hear the dogs outside. I can hear my breath. 2 things that you can smell. I can smell the incense I put earlier, the essential oil I put earlier. I can smell the air being a bit humid outside. And 1 thing that you can taste could be a cup of tea, could be something you had in your mouth early, or even if you didn't have anything to drink or eat, your mouth always has a taste, so you can feel that. All right, so this is a mindful meditation that you can practice throughout your day to bring that awareness to the present moment, the here and now. I wanted to give you, we are running out of time now. If you want, after this video, you can just stay in Shavasana and use one of the breath techniques we learned. Like, for instance, the one interrupted breath, which is 4 inhales, 4 holds, 2 inhales at the middle of your lungs and 2 holds, full lungs, 1 inhale, 1 hold, and then, and only then, you release all the air down, pressing the pelvic floor. So you can use this exercise for meditation and to relax. Or you can use any breathing exercise that you feel you like it, or it works for you. Again, we are all different. Accept your uniqueness. Accept that you are different and find out what works for you. All right. Last thing that I want to do to say about mindfulness, I have these little cards and one of them says present, be present. Your full presence is the greatest gift you can give yourself and others. So be present when you do something. Try to be there with your body and your mind, your spirit. Life is happening right now, in this moment. Today is the only day that matters. Anchor yourself in the now and give it your all. Notice the details and drink in the sweetness. Be present. All right, so I hope I gave you a present. I gave you my time, I gave you my present, and I gave you this gift, which is yoga and the beautiful technique, the beautiful sport that is yoga. I am from Umbrella Parties. If you want, you can give me an email so it's info@umbrellaparties.co.uk. So you can ask me anything that you want, and hopefully I can help you, or hopefully I can answer you. I'm still learning, so we are always learning. But yeah, I hope I gave you a little bit of insights about yoga. To have a strong body and a strong mind. Thank you so much for being there. I bowed